Hey folks, welcome back. Ted Bost here with Shoulder Season Counseling. I'm a licensed therapist in Idaho and Utah. Co-parenting is hard for a lot of people, and so this is a video to help people kind of conceptualize some of the foundations of parenting skills that two parents might rely on. So oftentimes parents will have concerns about the inconsistencies in their parenting style. And one of the first things I like to do is talk about structure versus relationship, or boundaries versus attunement when it comes to parenting. Attunement means, being in touch with someone. Relationship means valuing the relationship, obviously. Where the structure and the boundaries, there's more of an emphasis on the structure and the expectations and the boundaries. Now, almost all people move back and forth on the line between structure and relationship, or boundaries and attunement. But I think it's important for people to kind of figure out what's your baseline, right? Like, are you a person that really focuses more on the relationship, and that's just kind of how you go? Or are you a person that focuses more on the boundaries and structure? Neither one is right or wrong. They're both important. But I think it's important to be honest with yourself and recognize, okay, where would I land 99% of the time, or 80% of the time for that matter. Now, oftentimes I work with families where one person is more focused on the structure and one's more focused on the relationship. I think that's actually the ideal situation. If both people are just solely focused on the relationship and attunement, then nothing ever really gets done, right? And if two people are just focused on the structure and the boundaries, basically everyone feels misunderstood, like they're on an island, and there's no connection in the family system. Both of these things are needed, both structure and relationship, for the family system to be healthy. It's kind of like the sun going up and the sun going down, right? Or winter and summer, right? There's always a kind of duality that's needed for things to be healthy and balanced. The second piece I'll move to is I'll ask parents, or a parent if it's a single parent household, what does your kid respond to? Does your kid respond more to boundaries? A lot of times I work with kids, they need boundaries. And if you focus on that relationship, the kids, they kind of know how to pull these strings. They won't do anything, right? So you have to focus on those boundaries. Those are a lot of the guys I'm working with. And at the same time, I do work with kids that need to have a focus on the relationship. They don't feel seen or understood, and they need their parents to understand them a little bit better, maybe slow down a little bit. When I work with a family system and two of the parents are both really high functioning, I often see that dynamic. I'll have a couple parents will both be doctors, or one will be a lawyer, and one will be like in finance. And they really, really are so boundary and structure and outcome driven. They forget about the relationship, and they forget about the attunement that they need to give to their kid. They kind of get their work roles mixed up with their family roles. Going back to the relationship focus, right? When both parents are just focused on the relationship, these end up being really permissive parents. I do a video about parenting styles and permissiveness. I'll put a link up here, but they end up being really permissive, right? And these are the kids that kind of do whatever they want. They kind of run the show, right? Because no one's there to hold those boundaries, or that's uncomfortable for them to kind of go into that role. So in a way, if you're not on the same page with your partner as from a co-parenting standpoint, there are some benefits to that, because that means you have the whole field covered, right? You don't have all your eggs in one basket, right? It's good to have your skills spread out so that you can create that balance and address whatever situations arise, because life's full of all kinds of situations. So I'll do some other videos kind of breaking down concrete strategies for each end of the spectrum, but that's just kind of some foundational pieces I think that's really important to start with. Folks, hit like and subscribe if you like the video. If you want to forward this to someone that'd be helpful, I'd appreciate it. Take care, everybody.